If you're seeing this before February 20th at 16:18 UTC time, we're about to have a Neptune and Saturn conjunction in Aries. Right after an Aquarius eclipse, we're in eclipse season and we're headed up to a Virgo eclipse as well. What really does that mean for the lot of us? Now let's talk about it. In the previous year of 2025, if you remember that eclipse season that was happening in March, the very end of March is when we see Neptune enter Aries for the first time. That eclipse season, we were also going through Mars and Venus retrograde times, so we were clearing out a lot of cycles of the warrior and harvest, motivation, prioritizing, worth. The worth part is going to be more Venus related, but worth and justice. So Neptune moving into Aries the first time and Saturn moving into Aries the first time, we got like this sneak preview at the very end of a lot of clearing. And those eclipses at March time of 2025, kind of since then, we've been clearing out a lot. We also turned another eclipse season in September of 2025. So we've had several large changes since Neptune first entered Aries. Now that it's back, I don't know if you can feel it, but I can. We are in the Aries energy with spiritual stuff, with dreams, with ignition of spirit and spirituality and like the learnings and the transition. Things are quick fire starting. It's kind of a lot, kind of fun, okay, but also kind of a lot. A lot of energy to get stuff done. That's what I've been feeling. I don't know if that's what you've been with, but that's how I've been working with it over here. Could also be my Saturn in Aries, so there's that too. But, so to turn for you, with Saturn in Aries, we also have, let's break it down a little bit before we get into the conjunction. So Saturn in Aries is very much about building structure and hierarchy based on those first like bright lights of, oh, I could do that, let me start that, I could do that, let me start that. Following those intuitive pushes and those like sparks of ignition that you have inside of yourself, they'll turn into hierarchy later on, which might sound kind of weird because normally when we think about Saturn and hierarchy, it's pretty meticulous and planned out, but Saturn in Aries is not like that. I have an idea and I'm going to get it done right now because in the bigger picture, I know it's going to lead me to the thing that I am looking for, even if I do not understand how yet. It's a little bit more chaotic, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially with Pluto and Aquarius, right? Okay. And the Aquarius eclipse, crazy. So Saturn and Neptune working together, we're going to get some ignition to make a transition. This is also probably something that we have worked with for a long time, have prepared for a long time, and something that we were born to do. The other thing about Aries, especially with Neptune and Saturn, is that it has to do with our birthright. What were you born into? What were you born to do? What's your interest that you've been with since you were a kid? Your fates and destinies, especially during eclipse season, that you just feel like you have always been with and always will be with, and you are on that track to get to those positions and places, even if you do not quite understand exactly what that is yet. Take that into account. Take that and think about it for a second. Put it in your brain for a little bit. Think about, what is it that I'm really meant to do? What are the birthrights that I'm working in right now? What is it that I am doing as a person in my spiritual practice, building my hierarchy, Saturn, Neptune related stuff? Birthrights, okay? Stuff that I have been destined for since birth. Whoa. That Saturn and Neptune conjunction, we're going to see very direct, specific prophecy. Oh, I understand now. Oh, our prophecies are getting bound up. Oh, interesting. And I just had a conversation about prophecy with another person. They were asking me about what prophecy really meant to me, so I'm going to explain it to you too because it feels relevant. Prophecy for me is that enough magic has been worked, enough time has passed, and now the gods have made a judgment. That is the word. Prophecy is you receiving those dreams or those signs or those symbols that you are not probably going to be able to get out of. Some time is going to pass, but those prophecies are also going to pass. They will come to pass. It's not something that you can unbind yourself from. It is something that is physical and real in the world, even if you haven't met it yet within your time. Right here, right now. So when Saturn and Neptune get together, this was a lot of Saturn and Pisces as well, a lot of prophecy stuff. Also, for Saturn and Pisces, you see all the videos about people, this is not a hate video to Saturn and Pisces, okay, but all the videos about people who really, really struggle during their Saturn and Pisces return, probably not totally all the time, but a little bit. It was probably difficult because the prophecies that were bound up, that you bound yourself to, and other people might have bound you to, bound since birth, that you were clearing out during the Saturn return, had to be cleared out during the Saturn return with Saturn and Pisces. That's crazy. So just so you know for next time, Saturn and Pisces has a lot to do with prophecy, and it takes a long time to get there for Saturn and Pisces. So if you are a Saturn and Pisces, this is such a weird intersection of this video, but we're going to talk about it anyways. If you're a Saturn and Pisces, be very, 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 very careful of the prophecies that you bind yourself to and agree with, especially when people speak things over you, things like that, because if it's there, you will cross it. That's probably going to rule a lot of your life until you cross it. And your Saturn returns usually are going to be clearing out something that has to do with the prophecies that you have bound yourself to that don't really work with the destiny that will be within the next turn of Saturn in your chart. Anyways, back to the point of Saturn and Neptune making this conjunction in Aries, though. Okay, diversion over. So we are going to see prophecy of new beginning stuff. We're already starting to see it. We just had an eclipse in Aquarius, partially ruled by the Saturn. Saturn and Neptune have been less than a degree. Like, they are very close to each other. They're having this conjunction at 0 degrees and 45 minutes in Aries. Again, February 20th, 1618 UTC time, so translate to your time zone as necessary. Also, the other interesting part of this is that the moon is going to be in Aries. So this entire eclipse season is going to carry prophecy, Saturn-Neptune conjunction energy with it, even though that conjunction is happening early on within the eclipse season. All right? Okay. Watch where the moon is going through your chart, too. That will be an interesting thing to carry with you if you realize that maybe there's a prophecy while the moon is in, let's say, Cancer. That's a little bit different than when the moon is in Scorpio. During this specific moon cycle, you can write down those prophecies and track those moons. Jupiter in retrograde right now is helping to bind the moon to those prophecies. So say that there's a moon in Cancer that comes up 3 cycles from now, okay? Because there's always a moon in each sign in each cycle, okay? But say that moon in Cancer 3 cycles from now, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember that prophecy that I had on that moon in Cancer. What's happening with this moon in Cancer 3 cycle? It's a lot of map and navigation and track work, but if you really want to get intense about it, you totally could. Anyways, though, we're also letting go of and kind of fully integrating, finally, the prophecies from before the North Node entered into Pisces. So, like, we're done with those. And we're going to be able to make sense of prophecies. Like, I know for myself, I'm thinking very specifically about the full moon that was in Pisces in 2023. That time for me brought in astrology for the internet stuff. Hello, hi, how are you? So fully integrated and also understanding why those prophecies were given to us within this season. And if you remember prophecies from probably the previous 5-6 years about that, could be longer, it could be the whole time Neptune was in Pisces, discern on a personal level with the time frame and the time zone stuff, okay? And come back to center with it. We're building with those prophecies now. So if you're receiving new prophecies here, something is going to be very clear about it. Oh my God, that's why they told me that a long time ago. Oh my God, my spirits have been talking about that. Oh my God, whoa, really? And there's more? Yeah. So the Saturn and Neptune conjunction is going to be like the specific point of this, right? But because they both move a little bit slower, this is already happening and will continue to happen for the majority of the eclipse season. So you just pay attention to what's going on out there because prophecies are prophesizing and their size is going to be pretty large. The giants? Okay, thank you, the giants. You know what? I'm here for it. Gratitude, rivers of love to you. Keep up the brew you need to do. I will too. We have a beautiful eclipse season in front of us. And so definitely the brew will be brewed. And I'll talk to you soon. Also true.